The Wild West was a time of unbridled lawlessness. Only the roughest and the toughest survived, and even playing games meant life or death. One game of chance in particular was so lethal and risky that any cowpoke with something to prove could not resist. Russian Roulette.
But it's 2017, and who wants to die over something that stupid? So instead, be my Huckleberry and join me for a game of Super Russian Roulette for the NES. If you don't remember hearing about this game coming out during your childhood, then don't worry, it just came out this year. Yeah, an NES game in 2017. One man, named Andrew Reitano, developed Super Russian Roulette and used the Kickstarter to fund the project to be released on actual NES cartridges. The game gets bonus points already. Super Russian Roulette is unlike any NES game I've ever played, and it uses the zapper gun in a way never seen before. Instead of pointing the zapper at the screen to try and shoot targets, bottles, or ducks, you point it at yourself. The game plays exactly like you play a real game of Russian Roulette, only without the mess of having to clean up your pals' dead bodies. The star of the game is a vulgar cowboy, who you have challenged to a game of Russian Roulette. You pass the NES zapper around to up to 3 players and take turns pointing it at yourself and pulling the trigger. If you hear and see a click flash on the screen, you're safe for that round. But if you hear a bang and see the flashing skull, well, adios, compadre, cause you're dead. The game continues on for the remaining players and the cowboy until one lucky buckaroo watches every player bite the dust. All the while, the crude cowboy is berating you with insults. If you take a few seconds before you pull the trigger on your turn, the cowboy will start to grow a bit restless. He'll pull out a magazine and start reading from it aloud. He might get up for a drink, or if he's not too fond of you, he'll give you a view of a full moon. Sometimes he'll just rant or tell weird, funny stories. And he'll even jump on the table and start busting a move. The cowboy is a lovable jerk, and if you're playing with a good crowd, the laughs are limitless. My favorite part about the cowboy is when he gives you an insulting nickname and then tries to get the other players to chant along with him. The taunts in his arsenal are pretty good, and even got on my nerves sometimes. Nobody calls me Puddin' Paw and gets away with it. So if you think you have a bullet in the chamber, instead of spinning the cylinder, which can be done by pressing A or B on the controller, you can put that cowboy back in his place and shoot at him. If it was a bullet, you'll kill him. But if it's not, watch out, cause he'll get pissed off and shoot at you. If you don't want to do anything that risky, you can shoot at his drink or cactus to give him a little scare. But don't you dare shoot at his teddy, cause that spells a quick death. Man, this guy is unstable. Super Russian Roulette is an extremely simple game, which is not a bad thing at all because at its core it's a game meant for parties. Something along the lines of Mario Party or Just Dance. Not particularly fun when you're playing by yourself, but gather up a group of friends and you'll be cracking up and hours will fly by. Playing a game can move quickly enough, and it's so easy that anyone can get in on the action. You don't need to be a video game player. The game can also be extremely tense after you've made it through a few rounds and it's your turn to pull the trigger. There are also a variety of options to play around with, like changing the amount of chambers in the gun, which will alter the odds. There are also different color options for the cowboy's skin tone and clothes, and of course a plethora of mustache options. The graphics are simple, but the cowboy is very lively and animated. When playing through a game, there really isn't any music, but since the cowboy is talking a lot, it's not necessary. However, there is a menu to listen back to some tracks made just for the game, and they are awesome. The music catches the vibe of a western, but in chiptune form. If you back the project, you can download the music and listen to the songs on the go, and it will certainly be in my video game music rotation. Super Russian Roulette was an extremely ambitious project that delivered exactly what was advertised and what I wanted when I backed the Kickstarter. The developer and his really small team did everything for the love of the NES and the project, and you could really see that shine through. So if you're feeling brave, pick up that zapper, pull the trigger, and pray you make it out alive. Super Russian Roulette may be a bit pricey for some people, costing $55, but if you're looking for a really unique party game, or if you're an NES enthusiast, then I definitely recommend picking it up. It's a lot of fun. But you gotta get it quickly, because there's only a very limited quantity, and once they're gone, there's no plans to manufacture more. Did any of you guys back Super Russian Roulette? What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you next time, and remember, it's all fun and games. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you liked that video, why not check out the one down below of my top 5 favorite Kirby copy abilities. And if you like what I'm doing, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks again.